There are places where time refuses to move on, where the wind hums old songs through broken arches, and the stones remember what history forgot. Along the lines of Tungabhadra River in Karnataka lies the ruins of once glorious city Hampi. Once it was the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire, one of the richest, most advanced cities in the world. Today it stands silent but not lifeless, for if you listen closely, you can still hear the echoes of its glory, the whispers of the stone, and the pulse of eternity. Long before kings and palaces, Hampi was the land of legends. Ancient scriptures call it Kishkinda, the monkey kingdom from the Ramayana. It was here on Anjanadri hill that Anuman, the monkey god, was born. It was here that Lord Rama met Hanuman and sought his help to rescue Sita from Lanka. The caves, the hills, the river, every corner of Hampi seems to hold a trace of that divine tale. For the people who live here, mythology isn't history, it's memory. The 14th century, a time of conquest and chaos. Northern armies swept through the Deccan, ancient temples fell, and kingdoms crumbled. But in this storm rose two brothers, Haryara and Bukka, guided by the saint Vidyaranya. They built a capital unlike any of the world had seen, a city of stone and faith, Vijayanagara, meaning the city of victory. Founded in 1336 CE, it was not merely a kingdom's capital, it was the soul of civilization determined to endure. Vijayanagara was more than a fortress. It was a statement of faith, wealth, and artistry. Rising between granite hills and the Tungabhadra River, its natural defenses made it nearly impregnable. Streets lined with markets, palaces with carvings, and temples whose spires reached for the heavens. This was a city built not just by rulers but by visionaries. Within a century of its founding, Vijayanagara became one of the largest and richest cities in the world. Travelers from Persia, Italy, and Portugal, men like Niccolo di Conti and Domingo Pace, wrote an hour about its splendor. They spoke of streets paved with granite, of markets overflowing with silk, pearls, and spices. They described procession of elephants and horses and palaces that shimmered under the southern sun. Hampi was not only a city of stone, it was a city of life, rhythm, and faith. At the city's center stood the royal enclosure, a massive complex where the pulse of power beat. Here kings held their court, soldiers marched, and festivals unfolded in grandeur. The Mahanavami Dibba, a grand stone platform, was where emperors stood during the 9 nights of Navaratri watching dancers, warriors, and elephants parade below. Nearby lay the Queen's Bath, with delicate arches and corridors and underground chambers that still whisper stories of royal family. But if the palaces showed the empire's power, the temples revealed its soul. The Vitthala Temple stands as Hampi's crowning jewel, a monument to devotion and design. Its 56 musical pillars sing when struck, each tuned to a different tone. And before it stands the Stone Chariot, carved from granite, eternal and unmoving, yet forever in motion in the minds of those who see it. Vijayanagara was a Hindu empire, yet its heart beat with many faiths. The Lotus Mahal, with its domed arches, shows traces of Indo-Islamic influence. The elephant stables, massive and symmetrical, speaks of Persian architectural ideas blending with local art. Here the world's culture meet, not to conquer but to create. In 1509 CE, a new dawn rose over Vijayanagara, the reign of Emperor Krishnadevaraya. Under him, the empire reached its zenith. He was a warrior, a scholar, and a poet. His rule were marked by peace, prosperity, and art. He wrote in Telugu, built temples across the south, and welcomed traders from faraway lands. The empire's borders stretched from the Arabian Sea to the Bay of Bengal. The city glittered not just in gold and diamond, but in wisdom and creativity. But every golden age casts a shadow. After Krishnadevaraya's death, the empire began to crack, not from enemies, but from within. Political rivalries grew and ambition clouded wisdom. In the north, the Deccan Sultanates, long divided by religion and power, began to unite under a single cause. A storm was coming, one that would turn the city of victory into a city of silence. The year was 1565. The air over the Deccan was heavy with tension. To the north, five great sultanates, Ahmednagar, Bijapur, Bidar, Golconda, and Berar, united under one banner. Their armies stretched across the plains like waves of steel and dust. Vijayanagara, now ruled by Ali Ramaraya, marched to meet them near the banks of Krishna River, at a place called Talikota. For years, Ramaraya had played the sultanates against one another, but now they had learned. The chessboard of politics became the battlefield of destiny. The battle began at dawn. The ground shook with the sound of elephants and cannons. At first, Vijayanagara held strong, the disciplined forces, their unmatched cavalry. But then betrayal struck. Two Muslim commanders within Ramaraya's army defeated mid-battle, turning their cannons upon their own men. Chaos erupted. Ramaraya, betrayed and surrounded, was captured. His head was severed, held aloft before his army, and with that the empire's heart stopped beating. News of the king's death spread like wildfire. The Sultanate armies swept into the city of Vijayanagara. For 5 long months, flames devoured the city of victory. Temples were looted, palaces were burned. The river ran red and black with ash. When the fires finally died, Hampi stood empty, its people gone, its glory turned to dust. Stones that once echoed with music now whispered only to the wind. Centuries passed, the jungle crept in. Trees grew through courtyards where kings once stood. For a long time, Hampi was forgotten, just a name in legend and travelers' tales. It was not until the 19th century that British explorers stumbled upon its ruins once more. What they found was breathtaking, a city frozen in time, carved from memory and stone. Today, Hampi stands once again, not as the city of kings, but as a monument of memory. Its temples are silent, yet they draw pilgrims and travelers from across the world. Its stones are old, yet they speak of courage, of faith, of the impermanence of power. Hampi reminds us that empires fall, but stories never die. Its stones, once shattered by war, now shimmer under the same golden sun. In 1986, Hampi was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized not just for its beauty, but for the story it tells of resilience, creativity, and faith. Archaeologists and historians continue to uncover its secrets, restoring temples and breathing life into past once thought lost. The Virupaksha temple, still alive with prayers and pilgrims, remains the beating heart of the silent city. Every year, festivals light up these ruins, music, dance, and devotion filling the same courtyard that once echoed with royal celebration. Around the Tungabhadra River, locals guide travelers, sharing stories passed down through generations. Hampi has become a bridge between what was and what still is. If you walk through Hampi at dusk, you can still hear it, the faint rhythm of drums, the whispers of poets, the heartbeat of an empire that refused to be forgotten. Hampi is not just a ruin, it is a reminder that art can outleash armies and the silence can speak louder than glory. The city might have fallen, but its spirit endures. In every stone, in every prayer, and in every soul that dares to listen.